we need each other.
Yeah.
We're designed to need each other to become in community. So whatever your gift is, be that guy.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Stand Up Dude podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Stuart White, along with our host,
Tim Basagno.
Hey guys, today we have yet again in the studio with us Brad Stine, comedian, evangelist,
Stand-up comedian.
all around
Stand-up comedian for stand-up dude.
It did occur to me.
I saw that coming a mile away. You guys thought you were so clever.
There's literally a podcast with a similar name that is about stand-up comedy, and
See?
we're like, somebody's going to confuse. Now they're going to think, oh, they must be about comedy because Brad Stine's on
Christians
it.
stealing from the comedian.
After like 30 episodes, this is our first comedian for stand-up dude. I mean, I don't know why that took so long.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We should do more of them. Just segue into that. But so you're back with us today.
I don't want to be.
I know. But
I remember the first time I came, I said, this
Contractually
sucks.
obligated.
These guys are horrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say anything because, we're brothers in
Well,
Christ.
why did you come back?
You know what it was?
Glutton
I
for
felt
punishment.
sorry for you.
Really?
I did. I felt sorry for you guys. Like, these poor guys, they're struggling so hard with their little microphones.
Yeah.
And they got their first cord. I remember when you guys plugged in your first cord, you were so excited.
Yeah.
And you got a blue one, you got a black one. And it was for Christmas. I think it was in your stocking, if I remember. And so here we sit. But I'm just help you all out.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's really kind
Try
of
to
you.
make a little.
Well, we wanted to mainly just dig into one idea here with you, and that is kind of using humor as a weapon, if you will, to tackle cultural issues.
So you believe we should
weaponize humor? Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically it. So go. You just talk about that.
How do I weaponize humor?
Well, that's it.
Well, humor has always been weaponized. That's why when you did well, they said you killed.
You killed, or you crushed.
You crushed. Or if you didn't do well, you bombed. So
it's always a weapon either way.
Always been weaponized.
It's one or the other.
You guys
Good or
didn't
bad,
know
it was
that.
still a weapon.
And you needed to bring me in to point the obvious out to you guys. And that's why I brought this on. I'm actually taking notes so I can bring them back to my podcast class and say, don't let this happen to you. Yeah. So you're perfect for me showing them.
This is excellent.
These are guys that are still struggling to find their feet.
We are. But thanks for trying to fortify the thing around here. We appreciate that a lot.
You keep us on our toes too, so it pushes us to be better.
Tell us about this fortified, weaponized comedy, or maybe it's not that. Speak.
Well, I got to be honest with you guys. You didn't
you.
really get very precise with your question there, and I'm going to kind of hold your feet to the fire.
Yeah, do it.
I need you to be a little bit more articulate. What is it exactly? Because I promise I'll comment.
Oh, I know.
But I really want to know what it is that you're saying to me so that we can make sure the audience can follow.
Let's see if we can do it this way.
Yeah,
Good word.
let's try it.
Thank you.
And this time English.
You have used humor as a way of actually reaching people with the gospel. Ultimately,
I have. That's true.
And that has been
so
a
far.
tool.
I've got it.
Yeah. So using humor as a tool is just another one of the options that we can have. You have guys who are the Charlie Kirks who can debate people, and you got other people who can get out there and talk to people.
Right.
How has humor been effective for you in that?
Thank you so much, Steve.
Yeah, well, that's different, but much more precise and helps me understand.
That's
so
right.
when you said weaponize it, do you mean like using it as a tool to make a
precision tool?
A precision tool. Okay, yeah, and that's what a Glock does.
Yeah,
it's precision.
Precision instrument right there.
You know what? Well, like I said to you guys on the older podcast we did so many months ago, unless you decide to drop this the next day. What was wrong with him? Why was he acting like...
I don't know.
This guy has a very bad short-term memory. I think comedy I mean, listen, you can't broad brush, right? Because it's kind of like... it's kind of like any of the arts, right? They're subjective. They're subjective. Okay, so it's kind of like this. Most people don't like or listen to opera. Would you agree with that? That's a very specific subculture of people, been around a long time. But your average person on the street probably couldn't tell you what a good opera aria was, or they listen to it, or they go to the opera, right? Most don't do that. So because of that, would you say, well, that it's because opera singers suck?
No, most of them are absolutely astonishingly
if you are if you are a professional opera singer,
there's that.
You are the best vocalist in the world.
Yeah.
It is the most difficult, most precision-focused training of vocal singing that exists. I mean, unless you can tell me, unless you consider yodeling to have its own, power. But my point is simply this: because you don't like it or appreciate it or are attracted to it, doesn't mean it's not good. It just has it's a very specific place by which certain people are attracted to it or not. So the reason I bring that up as an allegory is that comedy can come in a lot of shades, in a lot of textures, okay? Some comedy is slapstick. So you have the Three Stooges, right? And they hit each other and do things. And we had the original silent movies of Charlie Chaplin, maybe, or Buster Keaton. And that was slapstick, but it was actually a little bit more sophisticated, actually, than the Stooges, right? I mean, Buster Keaton stuff was ridiculous. He was amazing at the things, did his own stunts. So that was very funny, but very different type of humor. And it was comedic, but it wasn't stand-up comedy. And then you had the vaudeville guys, and they had their little routines. And then you had the teams, the Abbott and Costello, and who's on first. And it was a funny repartee between the two of them. That was comedy stuff. And then you had kind of the sketch guys and the Red Skeltons who played characters, and they were funny. And the sitcom guys that made a situation comedy where you're watching a funny life. All right. So stand-up comedy is a very specific branch of humor. And what it is it's basically a monologue, one guy, not in dialogue. I'm not speaking to you and then you speak back. That would be a duo or a team that has its own kind of thing. But to stand up with a mind, a mouth, and a mic and speak to a big, giant group of strangers and bring laughter to them based on the way you see things and how you are observing them is a very specific art form. And I have known lots of musicians in my lifetime, and I'm a professional actor, so I've known lots of actors, and I'm an author, and I've known authors, and I've emceed, and I've done lots of things in the performance arts. Okay, and I was a professional magician. That's how I started in this entire showbiz. I was a professional sleight of hand artist. Okay. So I'm very eclectic. I'm a Renaissance man. I was also in the carnival. So I know thing. I can do things I promise you would be amazed.
I would love that.
Told you what I can do. So again, very Renaissance guy. Okay. To a man, from the artists I've known who are not stand-ups, I'm talking about musicians and I'm talking about very good. I mean, great at their thing.
Awesome.
When they talk about stand-up comedy, they're all like,
I don't know.
I don't have the slightest idea, not only how you do that, but how that doesn't scare the crap
out
of you to do this thing. And of course, I'm sitting there and go, well, yeah, but you're a vocalist in front of a big crowd, and that's a lot of pressure. And you're the lead, so you got to make them enjoy that. Or you're an actor, and it's hard to you're playing this Renaissance. It's hard, and you're playing. I don't know what it is about stand-up because I am a stand-up comedy. So to me, I'm kind of like, Well, yeah, I know it's hard, and yeah, I remember trying to learn how to do it, but it just seems like you guys are a little bit overreaching. Really? Why you think this particular thing? I can't. I can't dissect what it is that they so fear about this thing, because it's fear.
You're standing up there absolutely naked.
You're naked.
Big time, bro. I mean, I agree with all of those comments that these other people.
But but you know, listen. Like I said, if you're a front man of a band, you're kind of doing the same thing.
No, I was a front band. It's completely different.
Okay, now
I'm petrified to stand up there with no notes for an hour and a half. And have your material and feel the audience and deliver it and have the timing, and to not second guess yourself, at least that people can tell, and own it is incredible. I had a TV show for years, and I tried to be funny several times. And I'm a funny person. All my friends would think I'm funny. Completely bombed every single time I try to do it on TV. So I am in the camp with these other people going, I don't know how y'all do it.
Okay, well.
What?
I thought you wanted to kiss my ring.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please. Okay. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, you're right. I guess you're right. I am something.
It is.
I am magnificent.
It is the best job.
By golly, I am
so
magnificent.
I guess so. But I'm kind of prefacing the answer to what he was asking me by saying this. So I guess what I'm trying to analyze kind of with you, frankly, because I didn't know that was going to be your question, so I didn't sit there and break it down. Oh, yes, let me talk to you about the power of comedy and how I have wrangled and leveraged that into an empire. I didn't know you would ask me that question, so I didn't sit there and think about it, but I love the mental exercise. So I guess I preface it with that breaking down of the way other performance artists view it. There's something about it that frightens them that is just maybe hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, because if you are an actor playing Hamlet doing a soliloquy, you're kind of in the same boat. You got to say these words and all by yourself, and if you suddenly forget the words or don't do it well, people can not think you're good or boo you. That can happen. But but it's something about it. Maybe it's because somebody else wrote the words, so it's kind of like I'm doing Shakespeare's stuff, and as a comic, you hopefully wrote your own words. So it's very personal. It's true. As a stand-up comic, you are the writer, you're the director, you're the choreographer, you're the producer, you're the agent. Had to find the job. You're the actor. So you do all the parts. Yeah. And I guess that could be intimidating to some people. But the only way that I could break it down when I've tried to think about this thing that frightens people so much is there's something about stand-up that it's just dangerous. It's very volatile. It can go south at any second. It is a tightrope, and there is never a net. And so there's a lot at stake. If you were
sounds wonderful.
If you were hired to do 30-minute comedy set, and you get up there, and 3 minutes in, people are like, "This guy is terrible." Guess what?
What?
You got 27 more minutes of standing in front of those people and finishing your time to get your check.
You can't walk away.
No. So, in that regard, I guess I could understand if that's the fear that because, and everybody's heard this, it seems to be the number one fear of humans is speaking in front of an audience. And now I'm like, well, why? And by the way, that never bothered me. When I was a kid, and the teacher would say, "Hey, we're going to have a test, and it's going to be a what do you call it?
Oral
exam, whatever you would say, whatever you when you had to say it."
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, God. And I'd be like, I
got it.
Yeah.
When do we start? So that's a gift.
So you had that proclivity big time.
That's it.
It's awesome.
And I didn't ask for that. And by the way, it's important, by the way, that you understand that when somebody says you have a gift, it means a gift. You didn't earn it. You just can do it.
100%.
But that doesn't mean you don't refine it. I always had a little problem with, especially in the Christian circles, where a guy would play some amazing guitar thing and sing an amazing thing, and people would clap, and he goes, "Oh no, it's for Jesus. It's all. I didn't do anything." Yeah. Oh, did Jesus play the guitar?
Right. My dad always.
Did Jesus play, or was that you playing that riff? Who played that suspended? Was that Jesus? Because I could have sworn it was your hands.
Yeah.
Or was that Jesus singing through you, or did you use your voice? Now, here's my point. I think that we presume as believers that we're giving God credit for who we are and what we're doing. And if I'm in front of the stage representing him in my ministry, then I give him credit. He put me here. Yeah, of course. But it's okay to be good at something. It just means you tried hard and you worked hard and you deserve an attaboy. So the gift is what it is. Okay, so if I had the proclivity and found not only not a non-fear but an enjoyment out of this thing, I don't know. That was given to me. So I do.
The gracious things you can do and humble things is to say thank you.
Just thank you.
Just say thank you.
I'm glad you enjoy that, because that's what I wanted you to do.
Yeah.
I wanted you to enjoy this. I worked hard so that this would be something that brought you pleasure.
Amen.
And thank you. So that's all right. I think that's a false modesty. I think a lot of times it's a disservice to the Father. Disservice to the Father. We have no problem. Think about this. Telling people where we fall short.
Yeah.
No problem saying, I'm really no good at this. I'm falling short.
Especially in the Christian circles.
That's the only circle I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay then.
Is that, we don't have a problem thinking I fall short, I'm a wretch, I don't deserve this, it's by God's grace. And we believe we deserve to just be honest about our sinful nature. And that's what God teaches. We don't have a problem revealing that to the world and saying, I suck at this thing, I'm no good, I'm a wretch. Thank God for his mercy and his grace. We don't have a problem. I mean, it's all true. So, why would we not give God the privilege of saying, son, I'm proud of you?
Yeah.
That isn't humbleness.
So cool.
There's something sick about that. That you don't receive God's praise. This is a man podcast, right?
Yes.
There is no more driving force in a boy's life than his dad saying, well done.
Big.
Nothing.
Huge.
Nothing.
Huge.
Nothing.
Love it.
Drives a boy more
deep.
than wanting dad to say, I'm proud of you, son. And we as Christians are taught not to let the Father say he's proud of us. What? If you're willing to accept where you fail, and we should, you are allowed to say, you know what, God? I'm getting kind of good at this one. I got a couple things thank you, I'm getting better at something.
Thank God.
The enemy doesn't want you to ever be good at something so that you can never feel like you're getting anywhere. He's already stolen your soul. I can't take you to hell. I've already lost that. How about if I just make your life miserable while you're here? How about if that's the last thing I can do. Can't take you to hell with me. How about if I just make it that the God that you serve doesn't have anything good to say about you?
Yeah.
No.
That's such a beautiful point.
So we need to keep that in mind. Now, coming full circle, because if you haven't noticed, I have a tendency to get off track.
That's okay.
When you ask me something, so I can answer something else I want to do because I don't know what because I'm ADHD.
Well, so welcome to the club. Hey, so we committed to you that we're going to keep this short because you need to run today.
I do.
And so
as quickly as possible.
Okay, then we'll
out
take
this door.
Right,
and
like
wipe my hands of this podcast.
Don't forget the dust
again.
on your feet, though.
But I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
I'm going to answer your question.
No, yeah, I just wanted you to.
But God threw in a little bonus for whoever's listening.
By the way.
Yeah, it was important.
And thank you.
It's important for those who are listening.
Very
Listen
important.
to me. All I do when I used to come up and say, God, when I went to perform, I used to say, God, I pray for favor. These people enjoy my show. That's what I used to pray for the last number of years. I say, I receive your prophet's anointing because he called me to have a prophetic voice to the church. So I just, and by the way, even that was something that took me a long time to accept because it felt really highfalutin. It's like, wait a minute, Brad, you didn't. God said, I call some people to be teachers and pastors and prophets. It's not something that I'm trying to call myself. Yeah. I just knew by the fruit of what I do that it had that kind of response. It had a prophetic voice. I said hard things in a palatable means to help people try to become something more than they are. Disciples. That's a prophetic voice. That's all it is.
And
it's just
you use
my
comedy
thing. That's
to get
what
back to the original.
I use comedy
to do it.
So we're going to get. See, I found a way back. I found a way back over through the weeds.
You did.
I did get bit by a couple scorpions, but I got it prayed for.
Weren't you president roll him around and he'll be all right when he got caught on fire?
Right.
He'll be all right.
But so with comedy and this whole thing, what happened was there must be something to the dynamic of it that people are moved by emotionally, physically. They like to laugh, obviously. That's what comedy's for, is to bring about laughter, and that allows you to experience joy, which is something that's unique to humans, right? Part of God shows that he's here. I'm going to let you experience this joy out of laughter. What is laughter? Why did he give us that? He did. He thought it was something I want you to have. So neat. So my point is that I believe that what comedy can do, not all of it does this. There are observational humorists. Jerry Seinfeld, Brian Regan, maybe Jim Gaffigan. I'm trying to think of people that I know that are just fun. They're safe. They're funny. Nate Bargatze's a hot guy. He's wonderful. Just fun. Just make it safe. It's just gonna be funny.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. Don't got a moral of the story. Not trying to. Okay, that's a branch of stand-up comedy. Okay, observation and humor, safe. Then you can have your prop guy. He plays the song parodies. He juggles. He does comedy magic. That's that category. They're funny. They got their own little niche. Your impressionists. They can sound like that's their niche. Yeah, but throughout history, in the stand-up realm, there were also the guys that weren't Seinfelds and Regans and funny, safe. They were called George Carlin. They were called Richard Pryor. They were called Lenny Bruce. They were called Chris Rock. They were called Dave Chappelle.
Steve Martin?
They were called...
No. Yeah, okay, right.
No.
Right. I'm with you. Go ahead.
And I loved Steve.
Yeah, me too.
But he was more surrealist.
Yes, sir. Okay.
These were guys that said, I want you to laugh. But I have something real important you need to hear.
Got it.
That's my call.
Yeah.
What do you want them to hear, Brad? I do it in the form of a Judeo-Christian ethic as social commentary to try to drive specifically believers to a deeper walk to discipleship. And the fragmentation of that can mean salvation. Some people will get saved from my stuff and have over the years, and I wasn't shooting for that. I don't think my gift is evangelism, though one of my most powerfully watched and shared video is a clip from Put a Helmet On, my first most famous album, of me talking about the Bible and how
was it the proverb with your kid, or your son? No, there was something out there. that you were doing a proverb. Anyway,
no. This is about the Bible, and I said how you should, why should I believe the Bible is just a book? And I said, no. Well, let's at least start with it. It's not a book. It's 66 books written by 40 people over 1,500 years. There's never been a book like that in human history. Does that make it God's word? No. It just means this is a very one-of-a-kind book. You might want to give it a listen because there's something interesting about this you've never seen anywhere else. And so I do this whole sort of breakdown of what makes the Bible and Christianity absolutely one of a kind and unique. It was filmed at Thomas Road Baptist Church in front of Jerry Falwell Sr. and his wife in 2002 or 25 years ago. And it was part of my whole show. I thought, I don't know if I'll ever do another album. It was my first one kind of. So I thought, I don't know what my life's going to be. I don't know what my career's going to be. So I have to give the gospel at least once. So I know I did that once. I left that out there. Whatever's going to happen down the road, I don't know. But I did this one thing. Okay. It's about 5 minutes. Okay. It has been clipped out. Go to YouTube and look up Brad Stine in the Bible or whatever. Okay. That thing has been used by ministries. I mean, millions. It just and many people like they're just discovering it. Yeah. It's a 25-year-old routine. But see, I was doing comedy about political correctness for 25 years. I was doing and referencing how this is going to steal free speech and First Amendment rights, and this is going to kill your ability as a Christian to be able to speak about the gospel and about truth and reality, because they don't want truth, because truth is the most dangerous thing you can have. And so that's what God did. My other podcast, you all remember, I talked about how I just try to take hard things and make them palatable for folks and whatever. And
Brad Stine's Got Issues.
Yeah, well, that's my podcast. But, the whole point is that, yes, I weaponized my point of view, couched it and hid it in humor so they didn't realize what was coming. They brought down and relinquished their presuppositional worldviews, because everybody has one, which means the filter of what you allow into your heart to hear and to listen to, because if it's something I don't want to hear, we get used to just blocking it off. The laughter breaks down the shields and the barriers. They have to deal with the truth fully targeted into their heart. They have to deal with it. Doesn't mean they're going to suddenly become a believer, but for the first time perhaps they've heard truth that they have to wrangle with and deal with, because it burst through their filters and it went directly into their heart. And so it could be considered a metaphor or a use of my comedy skill that God gave me to speak of these truths within the form and the flavor of comedy, right? But there's nothing new under the sun. And God said a long time ago, the Word of God is a sword, and it cuts to the quick. All I'm doing is what I was called to do. Before the world ever existed, God knew one day down the road, in a particular little tiny season, in a moment in time, I'm going to make a little comic, and he's going to have a little thing to do, leave a little legacy, and then off he goes to his mansion. And that's how the game works. And that's how he ended up doing this.
Did you guys see what he just did there? I'm just going to talk to the audience real quick. He just brought it all the way back. We did not really discuss what we were going to talk about before. We kind of mentioned maybe an idea. Brought that weapon back around, the sword. I love that the sword is kind of what you came back to. And we talk about in Scripture, the sword of the Spirit, the sword of truth.
How did I do that?
Is a sword. How did you?
I don't know.
Again, do you want to kiss his hand again?
Please. Or feet. At this point, maybe the feet.
Point, it's probably.
Or at least rub my feet. They've hurt.
Yeah. Well,
jeez.
I want to bring it back to, for men right now, who this audience is. We've discussed this a few times, I think.
Women are forbidden to listen to this.
Women are not allowed to listen to this.
Hey, it's like 18% of our viewers. So awesome. Keep watching. Thank you, by the way.
It's because the women can't keep their nose out of our business. Will you women go listen to your own? There's got to be a Beth Moore podcast somewhere.
for men right now, I want men to be able to see how they can use humor, how they can use whatever the tool is that God has given them to either reach an audience. I love that you put it too. You said it makes them feel something. And I've heard movie producers describe the same thing. I'm trying to not get you to overthink. I'm trying to bypass that and get to your heart. And I think it's the same thing with you. How can men use that same idea of comedy to get to the heart with whether it's they need to meet Jesus or they're going to use it to talk to somebody about Jesus?
Well, I don't know that anybody can just decide to use humor. I mean, you talked about you had a professional television show, and I don't know what form you were trying to do comedy. If you were trying to do stand up,
I was just
but whatever it was,
to say something a little funny.
Okay, well, you said it bombed. That's what you told me.
Oh, yeah, they all like three attempts.
I'm just taking in practical terms, it's not for everybody. And what probably would be a better answer, a more productive answer to what you just asked me is this. Don't try to be funny if you're not funny. Don't try to be serious if you're not serious. Don't try to be anything. Be you.
What?
That's enough.
Amen.
You were given one thing you have, all of us. But I'm going to talk like I'm talking to one guy. Okay. One thing you have that nobody has ever had before you and will ever have after you is your specific DNA, your specific thumbprint. The truth is, and we all know this, you are unique. Doesn't mean you're going to leave a lasting impression. Doesn't mean you're going to do something good. You might do something terrible. That's going to be your decision. But nobody can replicate you. You are one of a kind. You're here and you're gone, and you are the only one of you there ever was. And that's enough. See, we tend, and this is always the case. I talked about the gift of comedy earlier. We have this habit as humans of always honoring other people's gifts more than our own. Man. Whatever you can do that I can't do is because it's better. I can't believe you can do stand-up comedy. I could never, and I'm going, but you are a concert pianist. You know what I would do if I could? It's my favorite instrument. Me too. If I could do that, and he's going.
People are amazing.
It's just piano.
Yeah, it's just easy.
I just learned how to play the piano. What that you can learn how to play, but what you can learn how to play. But you know what? I wish that I could rebuild that engine because my car is breaking down and I can't afford to keep fixing it. Oh, I can fix your engine, but what you do is say, dude, don't you understand? I'm telling you, I can't do that. And you can't do this. It doesn't make it more important or better. Amen. It simply makes it different.
I love
and the reason that God said you are a body and the eye can't say to the hand, I don't need you. And the reason he did that to make each one uniquely gifted in a different category is it forced us to need each other. If I don't have feet, I can't go anywhere. I have to have the feet. If I don't have hands, I can't pick that up when we get there. I have to have the hand. If I don't have the eyes, I can't figure out where we're going. I need that. And God said, who are you to call one thing less valuable than the other, even that thing which is less, what we considered less noble. In other words, if you look at the body, there's colons. Who wants to be the colon? But guess what? I really need my colon every dang day. I'm so grateful. Every morning after that cup of coffee.
Thank
I'm
God.
so grateful I got that.
So.
Thank you, Jesus, for my bladder. Because, man, nothing feels better than just that good old
especially when
peeing. As a man, to do it in the backyard, that's the beauty of peeing. You do it anywhere you can. So my point is, I mean, we're being frivolous, but I'm not. I'm being truthful.
It's great.
And it, again, sounds like a bumper sticker. Sounds like a sermon series. Sounds like a devotional. I'm not kidding. We need each other.
Yeah.
We're designed to need each other to become in community. So whatever your gift is, be that guy.
Love it.
And that's enough. Let your witness be in great at you.
Amen.
That's your witness.
Hey, Brad, I don't know if you know this, but
I don't, or I wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Our slogan, our stance, our truth at Stand Up Dude is to be the man that you're created to be.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have I've never had anybody explain it as well as you just did.
Because I'm a
Genius.
Yeah, you're a stand-up dude.
A stand-up dude.
So, guys, that is not just a motto; it's the truth. And if you haven't met Jesus, we want to just tell you that's where this thing starts. Being the man you're created to be, we want to remind you to know your Creator first. And if you don't know Him,
He's getting tired of waiting for you guys.
I want to tell you to go
Jump in.
Go to our website. I'm not going to lead you right now because I want you to see it right in the words in front of you. Go to our website, standupdude.com. The very top button, even if you're on your phone, it screams at the top for you, and it says stand up. Go there and pray that prayer with us and be the man that you're created to be by meeting your Creator and doing exactly as Brad has mentioned here and being the man literally that God has created you to be.
Just be great at being you.
Yeah, I love it. Stu, would you lead us out here?
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Stand Up Dude podcast. We appreciate Brad joining us again, and you guys can check out his comedy. You can check out his books. You can check out any of the things that he has done. We're going to include some notes in the show notes here.
BradStine.com to participate in my ministry or bring me into your church to perform, and go to Brad Stine Has Issues and subscribe to that if you want to see my little podcast that I'm dabbling in.
Yeah.
What he said.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Those are being the show notes.
Yep. And you guys don't forget to leave comments, subscribe, follow, all those things for the Stand Up Dude podcast. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. Go to all the sites we just mentioned. Do all the things.
BradStine.com would get you there.
Yep. God bless. We'll see you next time.
Love you. Thank you, Brad.